And let's check out some works and films demonstrated in this film festival. And today we will also have another reporter to give you the live stream. And we also have another colleague in the venue. And we also have an expert here to walk us throughout this venue. So I will turn it over to my colleague Wang Shuo. Hi everyone, I'm in the Changchun Film Studio. So it used to be the old studio, and now it's a museum. Well, it's the cradle of the new film of the new China. But now it's still acting as a film museum. So in this film festival, we'd like to take this opportunity to visit the museum. And we are lucky to later on talk to some of the local people who know this place very well. So thank you for joining us. Hi everyone. So if you're lucky to see her works, you will see many interesting episodes. And today we also have 3 fans of the films. They have been fans of the films for a very long time, and they know the films very well. So actually, you represent the 3 generations of Chinese people. So could you start first by telling us some stories of the films? So this is the opera venue, and it used to be the theater, and a lot of films were displayed. Yes, we spent over a decade of time there, so we have this affection of the venue. But now it has been fixed and turned into a museum. So let's walk inside. So does it look like what it used to be? Yes. Yeah, we restore its look to what its original appearance. So when you walk in here, you can feel a feeling of the old times. And later on, you will discover many more pieces of the old times. Could you tell us some stories about the old times, and especially about this floor piece? It represents the dragon, and it tells about the locations. You know, the 4 directions. Since I joined this place, and since 1937, when this place was built, it has already been like this. So the 2 dragons represent the 4 directions. So it's like an old memory to you, right? Yes. I dare not stepping on this floor because I'm afraid that we will destroy it. So, dear online viewers, you are warmly invited to join us in a discussion about this museum. And we will also you can post the questions in our platforms, and we will share them with the interviewees. Well, it tells the story about the 1930s, right? Yes, about during the period where the Japanese invaded China. It acted as a cultural promotion base, and we have the Communist Party of China. We have many party members working in this field. And we have moved to Qingshan. You can see the faces of the old party members. We noticed there were some sculptures outside. Yeah, those statues represent the real figures during those historic times. And you can see those are the members of the army. They traveled from Yan'an, traveled a long way from Yan'an throughout the areas where the troops that were held by the enemies, and finally they reached here. They risked all their lives here. So that represents a very special memory for you, right? And this part tells about the film studio of the Northeast China. We started the construction in Xingshan, and these people took the equipment all the way to Changchun and started building this Northeast China film studio. So did anyone share also with you the history of building those of the film studio? Yes, I was told about the history of the development of the film studio by the older generations, and there are many people who experienced the last generation. So many of them are used to be the heads of a factory or the head of a film studio, and most of them come from the troop of the army. They carried all their luggage to the studios. Yeah, they carried lots of equipment all the way to the studio. So that represents a very special memory of the period, right? Yes. We have something special here. It actually is exactly what it used to be. That's where we used to prepare the films. You need to dress in white. And there are a lot of films. And the films were equipped in big boxes before delivery. So piles and piles of them. This is a chair for the operator. So actually, I have a question for the film fans. So have you ever wondered how is the film produced? Now you can see it is produced like this. So many artists have devoted to the development of the film industry. And now we have been experiencing the progress of science and technology. And you may wonder how the production of the film has progressed. And now we have a recording room. So when the films are prepared, they were transported here. You can see the chair of a recorder and also the director, and also the actors and actresses. So the actors and actresses were assigned roles to perform the recording. Now you can check the studio they used to work in. There would be a director. So it's soundproof, right? Yes, we speak to the microphone, and it's soundproof. It's not that different from what it is today. So they will move out and come here and speak to the microphone, and they will see the screen and speak in the same pace of the screen. Well, this is the very first film of the Chinese people, right? Yes, it tells the story of an honorary soldier. The director's name is Yuan Naicheng, an old generation director. And it is actually a foreign film. We translated the scripts and subtitles. But when one of the soldiers trooped to the enemy, he made such a sound by shouting. He shouted "Ula." We wondered how that was made, because it is different from how we say it. If a Chinese soldier rushed to an enemy, they will say, "Let's kill." So that is a very interesting episode about that time. Actually, the director Yuan Naicheng used to be a soldier, so he preferred the subtitle "Kill" or "Long live the soldiers," but we cannot do that. So very precise interpretation, right? Yes. Now this is the director Yuan Naicheng. At that time, he was already 98. I used to work with him. He is very strict with the colleagues. And also for me, when he cooperated with me, he asked me to go to the village, to go to the countryside to experience life for the film.
Therefore, as an actor, I have to satisfy the needs, the demands of the directors, and he would have a lot of requirement for me. I think film should reflect reality. Therefore, it also needs to reflect the spirit of the time. We made all of those films back in Changning, the Changchun Film Studio. And here you can see we also have training classes, term 1, term 2. All of them become very outstanding technicians or cadres at different departments. So they all worked in the film industries on different posts. This is the 1950s. At that time, as the development of the film industry, we need more actors and actresses. Therefore, these training classes aimed at training more of these outstanding actors and actresses. Let's take a closer look at this picture. You can even find Miss Chen in this picture. This is term 2, and this is no other but Miss Chen when she was 16. I have to tell a story here. When I first came here, I took a look at this picture, and I said to Miss Chen, Miss Chen, which of these male students do you think is the most handsome? And she said that it has to be my husband. And can you tell our viewer which is your husband? That's it. I think at that time the romance is also quite simple, and you were quite a big movie star back then, but you still fell in love with your classmate and stick to the end. I think that's quite romantic. We're quite avant-garde at that time, but nothing compared to the young people today. We actually remain true to our heart. So, do you and your husband still go to films together and talk about films? Yes, we do. This is one of the most earliest films of China. It's called The Bridge. This is the screenwriter of the film and director of the film. Therefore, at that time, it was also very important at the cultural front to cultivate talent in the film industry to make films that can reflect our reality. At this side is a screenplay. It's very precious. And here you can see the explanation of different shots. You can see there are requirements for the actor and for the shots, whether it's a close-up shot or a long shot, and accompanied by the requirement for music and other details. So this is actually first-hand materials in film shooting. This is the original screenplay back in the 1950s. Very precious data. Any of the fans present are from the locales? Yes, This is exactly what the cinema looked like back then. Do you remember the price for the film ticket? Yes, this is exactly the entrance for the cinema. The most original gate for the cinema. There are some details to this door. Here you can see that is a ticket to the film dropping on the floor. It says seat 31 on row 17. And this is another ticket. Let's see if we can have a close-up shot. So the price for the ticket is only 30 cents. 30 cents. That is quite reasonable pricing. This is the box office, where you can get the tickets. I think it must have triggered a lot of beautiful memories for you, right? Yes, when I was little, the happiest moment is when my parents decide to go there and get the tickets for me. And at that time, these film tickets are handwritten. And when I use this ticket, and they will save the film tickets for some other writings. This was the original piece of the front gate for the Changchun Film Studio Theater. Let's imagine if you take a picture here, that would be quite nostalgic. We can see some more tickets dropping on the floors. That is very lovely design by this museum. This is the copy for the seats in the theater. And the tricky design here is that it is actually flip-sided. This is designed to save space. And the seats are also flexible. If you want to use it, you can just put down the seats. If you don't use it, you can put it up to save space for the corridor. This is another very famous film, almost known to everybody in China. It is performed by Miss Tianhua. The name of the film is White-Haired Girl. And this song is also a quite household song in China. And this is Mr. Chen Qiang, a quite outstanding figure, actor, because he's famous for playing villains. I also worked with Mr. Chen Qiang, and he actually played a hero in my film, in the film that I work with him. Now we are moving on to a very prosperous time for the Changchun Film Studio. So when did you first come to this studio? If we continue the visit, you will know. So when the film is on, will it lead some fashion trend? Yes, these film stars are really big and become idols for everyone. For example, these war heroes such as Li Xiangyang with the 2 pistons on hand. That is the gun that Li Xiangyang used in the film. That's the original piece, including the manchet. Those are all original props in the film. These film and the heroes in the film become household names, and they were great inspiration for people at that time. All of these actors and actresses are my heroes back then. Some of them are graduates from the art school, from the Academy of Theater, and this is the film Dong Cunrui. Also a very renowned war hero. Here is also original props used in the film. This is one of the most famous shots in the film, inspiring millions of people with this very strong eyesight. In the 1950s, there was a very big production of outstanding films depicting the heroism during wartime. So it was quite a productive time for Changchun Film Studio. Here is a very special exhibition hall, and we will soon see it. This is actually a recreation of one of the film set. As you can see, there are a lot of film props, and the real mags for the guns and bullets. And the song is also quite familiar to all of us. It has influenced people from generation to generation. Whenever we heard the song, it will bring us back to that time. And it has different verses. From verses to verses, you can sense the change of melody from peaceful to more powerful.
Now, I'd like to bring you to one of my favorite galleries in this museum. It is actually like the Gallery of Time that represents the different development stages of the film industry. You can see some famous films of that time, like the tie between the mother and the children, And this poster shows the most famous artists during that time. And this film was very interesting. During this stage, were you already in this studio? And not actually, I moved here in 1959. And this film tells a story about the melodies. It was very popular among the people. And it is being played until today in some parts of China. Have you ever watched this film? The figures in a painting? Yes. One of the people said they were tired of learning the dramas, but they had to come to the theater to learn it. And this film, this section tells about a film titled "The Daughters of the Communist Party of China." And many people were moved by this film. There was an episode telling about the departure of the daughters. And these are the props used in the film. And they were real props transported from the army. And this one is Li Mei. She told me a story about shooting the film. She was hurt when shooting because the shooting environment was not that friendly to the actresses and actors. Now we're in a section of displaying the post. Well, the work pieces come from 28 cities across China. We received 1,359 pieces. Rich in content, and which is useful for expressing what it means in the film. So posters are very useful. So we use this method to enrich the content of Chinese film industry and to enrich the cultural life of the Chinese people. And that's why we are holding such a poster contest. This is also another way for us to emerge into this film festival. So as said by Ms. Yao, the poster is a name card of the film industry. So it's quite a big event. And today we have displayed some pieces that have won awards. So you are one of the jury members for the poster contest, right? Can you tell us something about this contest? And can you tell us something about the pieces of the works? Well, this is the section for the first and second and the third tier prizes. Now this is the first prize winner, the white deer plane. Can you tell us why it has won such a big award? The poster is expression of the feeling among the audience after watching the film. So the poster is a redesign of the film. It is an interpretation of the inner feeling of the screenwriter. What is most successful about this poster is that it has very strong visual effects, and it also has a very strong feeling for space. I did not read the original story, but I watched the film. I think the film told us a successful story that happened a long time ago. So it has a strong effect about the space and also the time. It's like the tunnel of time. So the poster is also successful in selecting the types of the words. Dear online viewers, my name is Wang Bingbing from CGTN. We are broadcasting the 14th Changchun Film Festival. At 7:30, we will broadcast the opening ceremony of the film festival. Now we're in the Changchun Film Studio, and we're showing you the collections of the poster contest for the film festival. And Ms. Wu is one of the jury members for this poster contest. She has just showed us one piece that won the first prize, the white deer plane. It tells us both the stories and also the feelings about the film. So who is the designer? And how old is he or she? Actually, the designer is a student who is still in the third year of his college. So he's quite young. So this contest is open to candidates of all ages. So the first prize actually goes to a very young student. Now, these are two pieces for the second prize. Can you tell us something about it? The first one is about a film, The Blaze. The second is about the film festival itself. We have been calling for applications to design a poster for the film festival itself. Another is about the films. It's open for the films that have been shot over the past 30 years since the foundation of the New China. So we have two types of the works. So this poster is about the film festival itself. You can see the image of the deer because we have this Golden Deer Award in this film festival. And you can also see the image of a camera and also the film. So it's a combination of three elements. You can also see the way of drawing is very young because it represents the young people. So the posters we used to see are most about the industrial design, but this one is very special. That's how it stood out. So how many collections we have here? About 60 of them. Besides the first prize and second prize winner, we also have many more collections here. So Ms. Wu, could you tell us something more about the standard of these prizes? It applies the same standard of the design contests. There are several standards. First, you need to have a very good theme. First, we will see whether the theme will comply with our theme. And the second, originality. Your work needs to be very original. You need to have your own idea. The third standard is how you can best express yourself. It must have an aesthetic value. So these are basically three standards for the design contests. So this is a preliminary selection, right? So how about the selection process? How do you feel about it? We have received over 1,300 pieces of applications. We have several jury members who worked really hard in the selection process. In the preliminary stage, you can see quite a variety of works that have very different styles. And for one theme, you can even have 30 kinds of interpretations. Well, this poster tells about the film Full Circle. So who is the designer? The designer is a freelancer, Jia Yuejun. He's not a student. He's a full-time employer.
A lot of contestants were not professional poster designers. They may have never designed a poster before. That's why we can see there are all kinds of ideas and designs clashing. So it's quite an interesting experience. Now we can see that the audience are slowly filling in, and in about less than an hour, the opening ceremony will begin. We see a lot of media carrying out the report. This is Xinhua News Agency. So, our colleague in Xinhua News Agency, how do you report this film festival? Because the Changchun Film Festival is the first film festival in China, and the Changchun Studio Group also has a lot of splendid history. Therefore, we have full coverage before, during, and after the festival. Here, as you can see, is a platform for report. And during the festival, there will be more deepened reports and carrying out dialogues and interview with artists and filmmakers, old and new, discussing the film heritage and achievement of the film. So, can you say hi to our viewers? Hi, I'm with Xinhua News Agency. My name is Zhao Dandan. I work at the cultural front, doing a lot of report on this regard. And I will be here to report the film festival all the way. Here is our logo for our application, and we will also do a live broadcast on site. You can check out this live broadcast. If you are interested, please scan our QR code. Thank you for your introduction. Now let's continue with our own live broadcast. The theme of this festival is novelty, so everything is new. The topic, the films, and the concept. Here you can see a lot of film posters. A lot of them are designed by new powers of human industries. Many of them are students. So, Ms. Wu, can you tell us what do you feel about the understanding of films by the new generations? I think people live in different period of time, so they are facing different historical backgrounds. From my own perspective, I think the style is evolving continuously. Due to some restrictions, the traditional film and posters, they would use more painting techniques. Let's take a look at some of the old posters, such as this is the poster for Liu Sanjie, which is made in 1961. As you can see, it has quite distinct time feature on it. It's like a painting. And this is a film from another time called Farewell to My Concubine. Farewell to My Concubine, and this is the poster for Hero. As you can see, there is more representation of the scene as well as the actors and actresses. This is the White Deer Plane, which is also the film for the first prize winner we just saw. And this is the film of 2015. As you can see that as time goes by, I think the design of the poster become more aesthetic. I think that all of the posters are beautiful in its own way, but it reflects the evolvement of technology. Because there are different types of poster. In the blockbusters, all of these more business-oriented films, it will have to enlarge the information of the director or the portrait of the actor. Therefore, photography would play a bigger role than paintings. For example, if you look at this film called Farewell to My Concubine, it is a more coarse, it's a more rough depiction of the actors. But if we take a look at some of the products after 2000, let's take the film Hero, for example, the language of the camera actually evolved. I think that reflects the change of the conscious of filming. And the film Why Dear Plane, it creates like a scene. There's no headshot of the actors. It creates a kind of atmosphere to draw you in. I think it's important for the poster to showcase the elements of the films. And take this poster, for example, it has no complicated elements, but it gives us more room for imagination. The idea and the objectives for artistic creation is to give room for imagination for the viewers. This is a work submitted by one of the contestants, a poster for the film Hero. Let's compare the differences between these two posters. The differences mainly lie on the difference between a business oriented poster, which depicting and portraying the actors and actresses. But the posters in our contest are more about designing. It's more about the artistic value. Because the concept of hero is deeply embedded in the Chinese culture. And because in a hero's concept, the world is plainly black and white. And that's the concept of this design. So I believe that it also reflects the evolution of ideas and aesthetics. Through the introduction of the posters, you can see that there is really a booming of the new generation of film talents. And in a very short period of time, a presser held by the jury of the film festival will be held. And my colleague is at the presser, and we will leave the rest of the time to him. Hello, dear viewers. I'm right now at the presser for the Changchun Film Festival. It's a very important occasion for the members of the jury to meet with the press. If you follow closely our film festival, you know that we have seven members to the jury, and which is headed by director Huo Jianqi. You will soon meet the other members of the jury. Here is the 12th cinema for the Changchun Film Studio. As you can see, this place is not open to the outsiders. It used to be a very small studio for the Changying Group, and it's for the review of the films. And the Miss Chen Xuejie, who you just saw, is an old staff for the Changchun Film Group. And this is quite a holy place for all of the staff members at the Changying Group. As you can see, these are very traditional couches, almost resemble those in the 1950s or 60s. And currently, this small theater is still in use, hosting some small pressers or press release for new films. Here you can see 3 small windows. It's a standard theater, not only showing the current films that is in cinema, but some old films. So that is the place for the control room. You can see the latest film. It can broadcast the latest film, but also old films shot by traditional films instead of using digital technologies. So it has very close connections with the festival. As you can see that our colleagues of the press are slowly filling in the seats. And later, we will be joining you in watching the presser. Do you right now know the members of the jury? If you have any idea, you can leave it on our bulletin board. Do you know who the members of the juries are? We see 7 chairs waiting for the members of the jury, and it is headed by famous director Mr. Huo Jianqi and Li Lichi, the Hong Kong director, and Liu Yi, the screenwriter, and we have actors Mr. Su Youpeng and Zhang Wuji, and the music writer Shu Nan and photographer Sun Ming. They constitute this jury for Changchun Film Festival. We see our colleagues are ready and waiting for the arrival of the jury.
可能有刚刚加入我们直播的网友，各位网友大家好，您正在收看的是第14届中国长春电影节。
Just in, this is the live broadcast for the presser of the jury of Changchun Film Festival. And we were waiting for the arrival for the 7 jury members. They are Director Huo Jianqi, Director Li Lichi, screenwriter Liu Yi, actor and director Su Youpeng, and actress Zhang Wuji, music writer Shu Nan, and photographer Sun Ming. This theater is the number 12 theater, which was not publicly open to the public. It used to be a film reviewing room for the staff of Changchun Film Group. Now we can see the moderator is speaking and calling the attention for the friends of the press.
The press conference will start in a minute, and the jury members will be here. Dear friends from the media, anyone from the national level media, please put up your hands. Thank you. Dear online viewers, you can follow us and post your opinions in our platforms. Any foreign media, please put up your hands. Thank you. Dear friends, to give you some knowledge about the jury members for this year's film festival, the famous director Huo Jianqi, he is the president of the jury members. And other members include Li Lichi, the comedy director, and the screenwriter Liu Yi, and the director and actor Su Youpeng, musician Shu Nan, photographer Sun Ming, and actress Zhang Wuji. We have 15 films that are shortlisted for the year's awards. We will have 10 prizes. And this year we received the application of 156 films. After a fierce competition, 15 of them are shortlisted for the final awards. So in the upcoming week, we will select and decide which film will win these awards. So what are the films? The shortlisted films include Suddenly 17 and The Looming Storm, which is a criminal story, and also The Shock Wave, and also the Banzi Melody is a feature film. Another one is the Operation Red Sea, directed by Dante Lam. Next one is The Founding of an Army, one of the 3 films telling the story about the founding of the People's Republic of China. Next one is Li Baoguo. It's about a real story. And also The Wasted Times also enters the list. Now the jury members have joined the audience. We have 6 members here. This year, the jury members comes from all walks of life. They are directors, actors and actresses, and also screenwriters. Now the media can take some pictures of the members. Now we are missing Su Youpeng. He's quite famous in China. He's also a singer. And he has many highly representative TV drama. And this year he joins the film festival as the young director. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the press conference of the jury members for the 14th Changchun Film Festival. I come from the Changchun radio and TV station. Well, Changchun Film Studio is the cradle of China's film. We have covered 26 years of development, and this year we are celebrating the 14th Film Festival. Later on, we will have the opening ceremony of this year's film festival. So this year's the theme is about a new era, new strength, and new cradle. And today we have 7 jury members to meet the audience. The jury members for this year's film festival for the Golden Deer Award is director Huo Jianqi. Other jury members include Li Lichi, screenwriter Liu Yi, director and actor Su Youpeng, actress Zhang Wuji, musician Shu Nan, photographer Sun Ming. Welcome. Today we have very tight agenda. Now the floor is open for questions. Let's go on with the short list, which includes also the wasted times. Our Time Will Come, The X-File, Never Say Die, Dying to Survive, End of Summer, altogether 15 films. So the award is targeted toward the young people. So what kind of expectation do you hold for this year's film festival? My first question goes to director Huo Jianqi. Do you have any expectation for the young people of China in the film industry? I think the young directors take a lead in China's film industry, where the candidates for this year are all below 45, because that represents one of the most pleasant period of their life. And I think that can be seen actually in the films directed by these young people. So that is one of the highlights about this year's festival. Just now, Director Huo Jianqi talked about training and helping the young directors grow up in China. So this year, the award will includes award for the Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, the Best Screenplay, the Best Director, and the Best Feature Film. So the young people received lots of attention this year. Now, actress Zhang Wuji is giving a speech. She joined in the film industry in 2006 with a film directed by Zhou Xingchi, and later she shot many other famous films, including The Little Mermaid. I think this taste for the film must be cultivated since young, so that young people can grow up in the film industry. I'm from China Radio International. I think the films from Beijing and Shanghai must have their own features. So I like to see in the films that are shortlisted this year, besides young people, what kind of features you'd like to see in the winners this year? This year we have some famous films like The Wasted Times. So can you share some idea about this? Well, I think this is a question for all the jury members. My name is Li Lichi. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm very glad that I can have this opportunity to join you in Changchun Film Festival. You may not be familiar with the director's name, Li Lichi, but you must be familiar with his works, including The King of Food, The King of Comedy, which all cooperated with the famous actor Zhou Xingchi. So his prestige grows together with that of Zhou Xingchi. I noticed there are some sad parts about the film. Actually, Director Li Lichi is keen on training the new the young directors in China. I'm glad to be one of the jury members this year, and I can feel this year is quite different. No matter for the film music or the equipment, I think there is a generation gap. But I wish to see more young people grow up in this period so that we can inject more energy into China's film industry. Just now, the speaker was the musician Shu Nan. He created art pieces for many famous films, like the founding of the army. I think we will select the films from the standard of art. You know, Su Youpeng is a very famous actor in China. He has many famous works, and he joined today's event as a young director and actor. Can you share with us your change of your state of mind in this preparing the video clip and the shooting process? This is my first question. And my second question is that I heard you will have another chance to work together with Zhang Wuji, the famous actress in China. So what would that be? Is that already settled? Well, it does seem to be a very casual topic. So right now I focus on directing, and directing offers a way for me to view things in a comprehensive way. And it gives me more perspectives about aesthetics. Actually, I checked today's headlines. I discovered that I was one of the hot topics. And Su Youpeng was nominated for the Golden Horse Award of Taiwan, and also the best director among the college students. I have a question for Liu Yi. So from the perspective of screenplay, we'd better focus on telling the Chinese story. So how can we ensure that we tell a good story of China? Hello everyone, my name is Liu Yi. Actually, telling a Chinese story and telling a foreign story is more or less the same. You know, last year, the blockbuster Wolf Warrior has made a very huge box price, about 2.6 billion RMB. It told a very good story about China. The story does not necessarily have to take place in China, but it must be about China, and it needs to touch the audience, and it can make people think about the topic. So the Chinese story does not necessarily have to take place in China. And now this is the era for the new media. We have many new people coming in the industry as directors, as film figures.
So you don't actually need a lot of money to make your own film. But all you need is a very good screenplay to tell a good story using your own way. So first tell a good story and then use all of these techniques and materials. That was Mr. Liu Yi. You must be very familiarized with his work, and he is the screenwriter for Wolf Warrior. And he has won the Tripod Award as the best screenwriter. If I'm understanding correctly, you're asking about the genre of film, right? Because I focus on the making of a comedy, I think there's a saying that the best comedy is tragedy. So there are a lot of stories about the common people. So I focus more on their stories, on the small stories, and I encourage young directors and screenwriters, and new filmmakers and film companies to make their own films, especially in a form of comedy, which will be better uploaded and received by the audience, which has also been proved as very successful in the past. So we would like to see more film in this genre. That is director Li Zhi, a very renowned comedy director, and he is he works a lot with Zhou Xingchi, and his work includes The King of Comedy and King of Food. And he has helped a lot of young directors to realize their dreams. Currently, in the Chinese film market, we see a more and more diverse situation that is a very good trend. But at the same time, we sometimes need to chill and think deeper about the positioning of different genres of films to make films of better quality in all of these genres. Whether it's a blockbuster or an art films, I think we need better quality. Right now, the people on the floor is Director Huo Jianqi, and his most famous work is Postman in the Mountains, which is shot in 1989, and the hero is for the film, hero and heroine of the film is Liu Ye and Chen Hao, who were at that time the students. And he also has won a lot of international film awards. Thank you for our jury members, and that's all for today's presser. Thank you for your questions, and let's wait for the jurors to leave the room first. And last pictures. And the presser is about to close, and some last pictures. 10 minutes later, the opening ceremony of the Changchun Film Festival will begin. Now, the 7 jury members have left the room. Dear viewers, I'm Ren Qiuyu with CCTV. And right now, the presser lasts for about 20 minutes, and And in 10 minutes' time, we will be watching the opening ceremony of the Changchun Film Festival. And now I will hand over the mic to my colleague Wang Bingbing. Right now, I'm at the opening ceremony, the theater for the opening ceremony. So in 10 minutes' time, at 7:30, the opening ceremony will officially begin. This is the concert hall for the Changchun Film Group Corporation. You can see a lot of new installation, but actually it went through a renovation not long ago. This used to be one of the set for the Changchun Film Group. Many famous renowned films, for example, The Founding of a Nation, are shot here. So this is a place is chosen especially for the opening ceremony. I think it's greatly significant. And this used to be a film set, as I said. Right now, after the innovation, it still kept the structure of the old theater and of the old film set. Here, as you can see, this is the set for the venue for the opening ceremony. Some of the highlights for today's film festival opening ceremony. We can see that on the screen there is the theme, that is the new time, the new cradle, and new power. The Changchun Film Group is the cradle for Chinese film industry. Many outstanding films were created here, and many artists used to work here. So in today's opening ceremony, we have a very renowned artist named Tianhua, who is already in her 90s. He is really a household name back then, and he was the leading character in the film White-Haired Women. And at that time, he was only 22, and is known as her down-to-earth, very authentic way of acting. So she will be presenting at the opening ceremony, and a lot of the new filmmakers will pay their tribute to Miss Tianhua. There are a lot of renowned artists, not only actors and actresses, but also screenwriters and directors and crew members of filmmaking. They all worth our respect. In the past, we see the subtitles on the screen, and back then, these subtitles were handwritten. If you don't know this story, let's take a look at a short video clip to see how these subtitles were made back then. I started working in the Changchun Film Studio in 1970, and I was one of the person in charge of subtitles. So this film was on every day on 4 a.m. in the morning and stopped at 12 p.m. There is one film fan sent me 3 pictures of this film. People were lining up to buy the tickets. So 30 cents for one ticket. At that time, the box office was as much as 180 million yuan. On the streets, you can see people reiterating the lyrics of the film. So this is about the secrets, the intelligent workers during the internal war. So this is about the undercover worker of the Communist Party of China. We've done a lot of work. The screenwriters have done a lot of work and a lot of research to understand the working situation back then of the intelligent workers. For the heroes, they would have a stronger posture, and for the villains, they will have a different representation. Some undercover workers, in order not to be exposed quickly, when they first came out, they can't be so obvious, and you take a look at him, you will see that he is a good person. So sometimes when a character came out, people have no idea whether he or she is good or bad. So this film was particularly made into a black and white film to give it a more nostalgic flavor. And New time, new cradle, new power. The 14th Changchun Film Festival. Welcome back. I'm Wang Bingbing with CCTV. And right now, I'm at the opening ceremony for the Changchun Film Festival. And it's scheduled to start at 7:30, and we are now waiting for the starting of the opening ceremony. You can see that the set is almost ready, and still waiting for some viewers to fill in the seats. This year's Changchun Film Festival attracts a lot of attention. People focus more about who will get the Golden Deer Awards. And there are 15 films that have been shortlisted for this awards. And first, they have gathered more than 100 films, and 15 were shortlisted for the final awards. And let's have a look at the list of the films. Some of the films are very well known. For example, Dying to Survive, and Operation Red Sea, which is a very big action film. There are different genres of film. For example, comedy, Never Say Die, and Suddenly 17, The Looming Storm, and Shockwave, and Bounce Melody, The Founding of an Army, Li Baoguo, The Wasted Times, Our Time Will Come, The X-Files 3, The Man Who Defends the Frontiers, The Story of Radar Operations, Dying to Survive, Never Say Die, and End of Summer. Which film do you like the best? And you can leave your comment on our bulletin. The opening ceremony of the 14th Changchun Film Festival will begin soon.
So today we will have with us many elderly artists, including Tian Hua, who directed the white-haired girl. And today we also have with us the young people to pay tribute to Mr. Tian Hua and for his efforts and contributions to Chinese film industry. And we will play some excerpts of a film directed by Lü Le, a famous photographer who shot also the Tangshan earthquake in 1942. And the film also received support from the famous director Feng Xiaogang. So it has both. It is led by both Yao Chen and Ma Yili, two actresses in one film. And they actually fought for the Golden Goblet Cup in the Shanghai Film Festival. And we also have another film, The Gang Woman, a story about a miserable mother. The film is scheduled to meet the audience on the 30th of September. But today, the audience will be lucky to see some excerpts of the film. So 15 films are shortlisted for the Golden Deer Award this year. And actually, you have met the jury members, right? So we will make a final selection for the best feature film, the best director, best actor and actress, best supporting actor and a supporting actress, best cinematography, best music. Altogether 10 awards. So you can see all of them are about new things. That is also the theme of the film festival this year. And during this film festival, we also have some other events, including the Golden Deer program. We also have a program targeting at the young people to support their aspiration and interest in the film industry. During this festival, we have many events targeted at the audience, including some exhibitions of the films. The exhibition takes place in 5 cities for 15 days in Changchun. We also have exhibition in Jilin, Shenyang, Dalian. We have over 200 films during the exhibition, including some old films. For example, in the 1950s, after the foundation of the New China. So you have wider selection of the films, and you are invited to go and see for yourself. Changchun Film Festival is the first film festival in China naming after a city. It's a biennial event, and this year we're celebrating the 14th edition. We have a unit for the film market, where you can see the microfilms, the young directors film, and also a dream version or a dream ceremony. As you can see, this is the stage of the opening ceremony. It is about to begin in a minute. The moderator is calling on the audience to take their seats. And she is giving some tips to the audience.
我们现在看到的这个现场啊，是由于这个。
新时代，新摇篮，新力量。
New cradle,
第14届中国长春电影节。
The 14th China Changchun Film Festival.
开幕仪式开始了，请大家欣赏整个的开幕仪式的晚会。
Now the opening ceremony of the film festival has begun. Please enjoy.
想的晨曦，飞散的星光的光影，绿色在地平线伸展了四肢，生命开始新的命名。明天将以绿色的脚步来临，谁也阻止不了昨天遗落入光的之前，跟你的梦的眼睛。明天将以绿色的脚步来临，谁也阻止不了生命的曙光的河流。明天以绿色的脚步来临。明天将以绿色的脚步来临，谁也阻止不了昨天遗落入光的之前，跟你的梦的眼睛。明天将以绿色的脚步来临，谁也阻止不了生命的曙光的河流。明天以绿色的脚步来临。
立足新时代，文化强国，
Standing at
电
a new
影
era.
筑梦。
打造新摇篮，
Films are
更
here
续
to
历
create
史，
the
涵养
dreams
未
for
来。
us.
焕发新力量，青春担当，
And a new
梦想
power
起航。
calls
尊敬
for
的各位领
new
导、各位来宾、现场
new
以及电视机
generation
前的
of
观众朋友们
filmmakers.
大家
Dear
晚
viewers,
上好。
ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
首先，请允许我们做个自我介绍。
First, please allow me to have a self-introduction. I'm with CMG, 李思思.
大家好。
And also, I'm from Changchun myself. Hello, I'm Lan Yu from the Film Channel. Today we have a lot of filmmakers and predecessors of films. I
大家好，我
welcome
是
you
长
all.
春广播电视台的节目主持人刘斌。那么在这里呢，
Hello,
代表
I'm
吉林
with
长春，欢迎
Changchun
各位。
City Channel, and on behalf of my hometown, welcome you all.
这里是由国家电影局指导，由中央广播电视总台、吉林省人民政府主办，
And the Changchun Film Festival is initiated by the Ministry of Radio, Cinema and Television and organized by
现
the
在我们
Changchun
所在的
Studio
长影音乐厅呢，曾经
Corporation.
是老
And
长影
here
的
we
第
are
7
at
摄
the
影棚。
opening
那么大家熟悉
ceremony,
的
and
不
this
食粮、
used
保
to
密
be
局的枪
the
声。
Theater 7 of the Changchun Film Group, and a lot of renowned film, including The Were-Hair Girl, were shot here. This is the cradle to the dream of the Chinese film industry. And today we welcome back a lot of staff for the Changchun Film Studio and relive those wonderful moments. And this also is the place for us to be nostalgic for once, and because it's the cradle for the Chinese films. Let's look back to the first film festival that was held in 1992. After 26 years of development, this city welcomes all of you back with the biggest welcome, and it tells the glory and dream of Chinese film industry. The new time calls for new cradle, and new thoughts calls for new power. Today we are led by President Xi Jinping and guided by the 19th Congress and its thoughts, and after several years, the film group has ushered in a new era and embarked on a new path. And the film festival features the Jilin and Changchun culture and characters. Today, at this beautiful golden autumn, we look forward again to the fruitful result of the film industry. Today, we welcome guests from all over the world to gather here in this event. And today, first of all, an introduction of the distinguished guests present here. The Vice Mr. Sheng Haixiong, head of the CMG.
第14届中国长春电影节组委会名誉主任。
Honorable Director, the Director of the Film Festival, and the Governor of Jilin Province, Mr. Changchun Honorable Director of the Film Festival, member of the Standing Committee of Jilin Province, Mr. Wang Junzheng.
第14届中国长春电影节组委会主任。
Honorary Director of Changchun Film Festival, Ms. Wang Xiaoping.
第14届中国长春电影节组委会主任、吉林省人民政府副省长
Director of the Film Festival Committee, Vice Governor of Jilin Province. Thank you all for coming, and the warmest welcome to you all.
首先，我们有请第14届中国长春电影节组委会名誉主任、
So first, let's give the floor to the Honorary Director of the Changchun Film Festival and the General Secretary of Jilin Provincial Party Committee, Mr. Wang Junzheng.
尊敬的各位领导、各位来宾、
Distinguished leaders, guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, at this beautiful golden autumn, the 14th Changchun Film Festival commenced, and it has its special charms. Hereby, on behalf of the municipal community and the municipal government and the 8 million Changchun people, I'd like to welcome the warmest welcome and congratulations to the opening of the ceremony, and the warmest welcome to all the distinguished guests presenting at the opening ceremony. To those of you who has always been supporting the film festival and the old industrial base of Changchun, my sincere gratitude goes to all of you. Changchun is a young and vital city, and it's developing very fast, and it has a great cultural and historical heritage. It is considered the cradle for Chinese film industry. The Changchun Film Studio Group has shot altogether 3,000 films, playing an important role in the development of Chinese film industry. The Changchun Municipal Committee and the municipal government and the Changchun people has always been protecting the crown jewel of Chinese film industry, and consider it as the name card, cultural name card, and it's the first film festival named after a city. And today, the film festival has undergone 26 years of glory and pride, and this is the 14th occasion for the film festival. We'll continue to treasure this film festival and shoulder our responsibility of time. General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out in the report to the 19th National Congress, youth is the hope for a development of a nation. So this film festival carry on the essence of his speech and focus on the power of the youth. We focus more on the new generation of filmmakers to cultivate more powers for the new generation of filmmakers, and strive to provide new platform for the new generation of filmmakers and provide new motivations for the development of Chinese film industry with the wide participations outside and inside the province. This film festival will surely be successful and full of wisdom communication, and it will trigger more cultivation of talents, and culture is the spirit of a city, and economy is an important symbol for the general power of a city. The city of Changchun will continue to leverage the spirit of General Xi Jinping's thoughts and shoulder our responsibility to be as the pioneer of the province of Jilin. And we need to have a national vision while standing firmly on the ground. So the hosting of the film festival is an important opportunity for us to further our cultural innovation. So we will continue to strive to build Changchun into economic developed, culturally advanced, and ecological friendly city. We hope sincerely that all the guests and leaders can enjoy your stay here in Changchun. I hope you can have a good time and have a good memory of the city. Last but not least, I wish the 14th Changchun Film Festival a great success. Thank you all. Thank you, General Secretary Wang, for your wonderful welcoming remarks.
它绘就的不仅仅是一个城市的梦想，书写
的也不仅仅是电影的辉煌。It's not only the dream of films. So as a girl who grew up here, I know about the film studio when I was very little, and today once again we witnessed that the film festival provided yet again a platform for all of the filmmakers. So I'm really proud as a girl who grew up here. So if you feel the same way, please applaud. Thank you all. We can look back to the memory of time that is brought to us by films, and those happy memories deeply embedded in our mind. Now, let's look at those times through a video clip.
这是一次向历史致敬的盛会。
终于迎来了中国自己的电影节。
它让华语电影在国际舞台大放异彩。
It gives us a stage for the Chinese film to portray at the international stage.
这是一份跨越时间长河的陪伴。
The film festival has accompanied us for so many years.
它让中国电影人蓄势待发，中国电影产业格局
It has empowered the Chinese filmmakers and expanded the scope for Chinese film industry.
这是属于城市的一次文化盛典。
It's a cultural event for the city.
它让长春再次以电影之名开启风华。
It gives the Changchun city another chance to prosper.
这是属于人民的一场视觉盛宴。
It's a feast for the eyes for the Chinese people.
它让人们充满期待，感受生活的美好，让每个人的电影
It gives us great hope for the future and gives us a dream for the films.
电影精品，关照生活力量。与人民同心共享。
It is closely related to our life and cares about our people's life and also our time.
新摇篮
New era, new cradle, and new power.
第14届中国长春
So this is the 14th Changchun Film Festival.
想焕发力量。
It's an event about us pursuing dreams.
朋友们，中国长春电影节整合城市电
Dear
影思维模式，融合地域文化发展特点。
Throughout this film festival, we have reallocated our cultural resources and showed our features and highlights. And we have made a great name card of the city. And it has carried the honor of the New People's Republic of China, of our new honors of the film industry. Actually, it is a milestone of the Chinese film industry. You know, it is located in the old industrial base in northeast China. It witnessed the great progress of our economic strength, and also it calls upon the efforts of the whole the people across this region. Now let's give the floor to the Vice Governor of Jilin Province, Jing Junhai. Mr. Jing is also the honorary president of the Film Association of Jilin Province. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good evening. It gives me great pleasure to join you in this gala event. Tonight, we have seen so many guests together with us to witness the 14th Changchun Film Festival. On behalf of the provincial government of Jilin Province, and also the artists, I'd like to pay my gratitude to the artists, the producers, and the friends from media. I'd like to also thank those people who have long cared about the development of our film industry. Thank you. Film is a form of art. It helps us to record the essence of culture, to communicate with each other, and also disseminate the value of the time. You know, Jilin Province is rich in cultural resources. The Changchun Film Studio is the cradle of China's film industry. We have great potential for the film industry. And the film festival demonstrates our exclusive feature and also bridges our communication. It also bridges Jilin with the world. It helps us progress in our cultural life and also give us new energy in fulfilling the Chinese dream. This year, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of reform and opening up process. And the President Xi Jinping has remarked that Jilin Province must respond to the aspiration of our people and promote the cultural sector. To implement his guidance and his lines has guided the directions of the future development of the film industry of China. And in the future, we are going to promote the spirit of the cradle of Chinese film industry, and we will tell the stories in the Jilin language to demonstrate the glamour of Chinese film industry. And also, we will do what we can to present a feast for the eyes for the friends of the world. So, through today's event and your presence, we hope you can together promote the progress of the film industry. And we also hope for this film festival to nurture new talents and young people. Last but not least, I wish this film festival a complete success. I also wish every success of China's film industry. Thank you all. Thank you, Vice Governor Jin, for your wonderful speech. I think each film has its own feature, the same way for each film festival. Since its inception, the film festival has tried to present us with warm and featurous films. You know, we are at the old Changchun Film Studio Theater. It witnessed the progress of China's film industry from 0 to 1. And over recent years, there has been a tremendous amount of outstanding films in Chinese film market. So today, let's see who are the jury members of this year's Golden Deer Award. The president, the famous director Huo Jianqi. His film presents a very beautiful image, and he has many famous films, and he has won a lot of awards. Winner, The Dog, The People, The Mountain, A Love for Blueness, Life Show, Warmness, Xuanzang were all his representative works. He has won a lot of awards, for example, in the Tokyo Film Festival and including the Best Feature Film in the Indian Film Festival, and many others. So who are the other jury members? The famous director from Hong Kong, Li Lichi. He created a new style for the Hong Kong films, especially for the comedies, including the King of Comedy, King of Food, the Shaolin Football, and the Flirting Scholars. Another jury member is Liu Yi. He worked for the Wolf Warrior. He also has many other works, like A Fight for the King of Food. Another member is Su Youpeng, the young director and actor. He has also many famous works, for example, The Transcendent. Another member is actress Zhang Wuji. She worked for the Changjiang No. 7 and Qian Xuesen, Little Mermaid. Another member is the musician Shu Nan. He has won top honor of Chinese Communication Department. His works including a founding of the new country. Another member is the photographer Sun Ming. His works include the Xuanzang and Six Sisters of the Yimeng Mountain and Nuan.
好，那接下来呢，让我们掌声有请第14届中国长春电影节评委会
Now let's give the floor to the whole team of the jury members for this 14th Changchun Film Festival.
欢迎各位。
Welcome.
欢迎各位评委。 来，亲爱的朋友们，响起热情的掌声，让我们欢迎评委会主席。
Let's give a round of applause to the jury members on stage. 霍建起。
香港著名导演李立池。
李立池 from Hong Kong.
欢迎著名编剧
Welcome.
欢迎
The screenwriter 刘毅。
著名演员、青年导演苏有朋。
The young actor and director 苏有朋。
著名演员张雨绮。
Famous actress 张雨绮。
著名音乐家舒楠。
The famous musician 舒楠。
著名摄影师孙明。
The famous photographer 孙明。
有请孩子们为我们的评委献花，有请孩子们来。
Now the kids will come onto stage to present flowers to the jury members.
有道是君子若兰，孩子们为我们的各位评委献上的是我们长春市的石
As the
花。
old saying in China goes,
好，谢谢孩子们，谢谢。
the gentleman is like the
好，接下来我们掌声有请评委会主席
So we are giving the orchard flower,
霍建起
the city flower of Changchun to the jury members. Now let's invite Ho Jianqi to give a speech. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good evening. My name is Ho Jianqi. First of all, I'd like to thank the film committee for this film festival, for your trust, and also for your hard work. And I also like to thank Li Lichi, Liu Yi, Su Youpeng, Zhang Wuji, Shu Nan, Sun Ming to join me in the jury. So we are happy to gather with you in the Spring City to celebrate this gala. So we have 10 prizes for this year's Golden Deer Award. Many of them were targeted for young people to honor their talent and work. We'd like to nurture a new generation of young directors and actors. You know, this year's event themed on the new cradle, new era, and new power. So the film industry belongs not only to the past but also the future. It is a way for us to live our youth to its fullest. It calls upon everyone to create and produce. Throughout this year's film festival, we witness the enthusiasm of the people, and we like to deliver a new picture of the film industry in China. So I'd like to again thank the film committee of the film festival for your trust. We also hope the Chinese film industry to have a bright future. I wish this event a full success. Thank you. Well, thank you, President Huo Jianqi, for your speech. I also believe through your hard work, many more famous Chinese films will stand out. And more importantly, I hope they will contribute heavily to the film industry of China. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause to the jury members for their hard work. Thank you, everyone. Dear friends, it's really a great pleasure to meet you in the cradle of China's films. And today we are honored to meet many old friends who are the heroes and heroines of China's film industry, who have left us many wonderful arts and works. So they have worked so hard through the past centuries, and this year we are paying tribute to those people.
"90 years ago, we have undergone wars and battles, and after the Reform and Revolution, our hearts still stay true. At a new era, she still is young at her heart. She walks from the cradle of Chinese film industry. She has many memorable characters. He has been acting with her heart. He performed many famous women film characters and has lived in people's memory for many years, and he's still a young girl in our heart. He has rich experiences and very mature artistic performance. His acting style has become an example, an outstanding example for Chinese film and acting as a whole. And she is the famous performing artist, Miss Tianhua. Now let's welcome the first generation of filmmaker, the renowned performing artist, Miss Tianhua. Another warm round of applause to Miss Tianhua. Welcome, Miss Tianhua. Hello, everyone. Miss Tian's birthday was actually at the beginning of August, and she is right now officially 90 years old. I've been living and working in the city of Changchun for many years. It has changed my life of art. That is quite well put. She is 90 years old this year, and we've had a long talk during my journey here. So I was quite impressed when she mentioned that many cities invited me, but when Changchun invited me back, I will come back no matter what happened. To come back here to the city of Changchun, first of all, I want to send my greetings to all of my friends and family here. The Changchun Film Studio, whose predecessor is the old Northeast Film Studio. When I was 22, that was 68 years ago. I began my work here in Changchun, in the Changchun Film Studio, and I acted the white-haired girl, and in 1958 I played in the film The Daughter of the Communist Party. So I really want to pay tribute to my directors, my photographers, and my co-stars, but most of them are not with me now. So my greetings goes to them. Hope them that they can rest in peace and have I have a very good memory of them. Ms. Tianhua missed her colleagues and her directors, but I believe that the life of these artists will still continue to thrive in their work. The city that they used to work in now have a festival, a film festival, that demonstrate the new generation of filmmakers. Ms. Tianhua is 90 years old this year, but her step to continue to improve her performance has never stopped. What is your biggest dream, Ms. Tian? I want to be an open-minded 90 years old women. I want to be healthy. Also, I want to do more things to contribute to all of those people. For the first generation of filmmakers, film is their work, is their life. And now let's give a warm round of applause to the first generation of filmmakers in China. Today, also with us are the new generation of filmmakers, and they will be paying their tribute to Ms. Tianhua. Welcome to the stage.
田华老师好。
老师您好。
We've been learning performing arts, and we are right now students. We truly admire your work. We want to pay our tribute to you and to all of those people who has been following us, following our development. Thank you all for your support. Ms. Tianhua, you are not only the idol for our mothers and fathers, but also us as a new generation of filmmakers. You inspire us, and we want to follow your steps, to stay true to our heart and create for our people and for the new era. And we can see beautiful smile on Miss Tianhua's face. We have a birthday wish for Miss Tianhua. Happy 90th birthday.
多好啊！你看田华老师自己说自己是90后，在他身边是像他当年拍第一部电影《白毛女》一样年纪的90后新一代的电影人。
The young actors and actresses are at Miss Tianhua's age when she first shot the white-haired girl. So there are more people that has dreams and sense responsibility to pass on the batons of the Chinese film industry and to carry on the torch of Chinese film industry. Now, another round of warm applause to all of those people who has contributed their life to the Chinese film industry. Best wish to all of you. Thank you again, Ms. Tianhua. Wish you good health. The next song is dedicated to all of the filmmakers and film lovers. Ms. Wang Li will bring us a beautiful song, Because of You.
为什么总能感受生命旋律？为什么风霜雪雨始终不渝？为什么心中的戒备永远耸立？为什么浩瀚疆域坚强无比？为什么面对艰险无所畏惧？为什么梦想变得如此清晰？为什么初心不忘如此美丽？为什么青山绿水生生不息？千言万语汇成一句，因为有你，因为有你。千言万语汇成一句，因为有你，因为有你。为什么面对艰险无所畏惧？为什么梦想变得如此清晰？为什么初心不忘如此美丽？为什么青山绿水生生不息？千言万语汇成一句，因为有你，因为有你。千言万语汇成一句，因为有你，因为有你。
谢谢王丽深。
新时代，新摇篮，新力量。第14届中国长春电影节。
谁是阿姨，谁是妈妈吗？
看看咱俩的嘴脸，真够讨厌。
你没听见大夫说活不长了吗？
说的还是人话，你不知我知。
这孩子他就是一无底洞。 我只能帮你最后一次了。
我听见孩子哭，还有孙芳。
我找孙芳，孙芳在哪儿？
你要是警察就能找，你是吗？
你有那么缺钱吗你？你再这么下去，什么时候是一头啊？
有时候真的想过撒手不管，可就是松不开这个手。
好的，这是一部呢，这是一部现实主义题材的力作，两位母亲命运殊途，爱恨交织。那么影片还有哪些侧重？让我们有请找到女剧组主创、导演吕悦、编剧秦海燕、著名演员姚晨、袁文康，掌声有请！
欢迎各位。
And leading actresses Yao Chen and Ma Yili.
欢迎各位，欢迎。
Please welcome onto stage.
吕导，首先跟您交流一下啊。这个电影可以说是导演的艺术。那每个导演在作品当中啊，都有着自己想要表达的种种思想。那么你想通过这部影片传递怎样的思想呢
in this film, what kind of message you want to deliver?
这部影片希望大家关注生活当中我们生活当中的女性，城市女性。
We'd like to get your attention about the ordinary women in our daily lives and in the countryside through this film.
谢谢吕导言简意赅的推荐。
Thank you, Director Lu.
来问我们的编剧海燕老师，这是一部
very brief answer.
那您觉得整个故事最打动人心的地方在哪里呢？
The screenwriter.
推荐一下。
金海璐
What
is your view and what is the message you want to deliver? Well, I think the roles in this film are actually based on the real human figures. So my team and I would like to turn this film, turn the camera to the value of the women and to how they grew up.
可以说演员呢，每一次的创作都是一次全身心的投入。刚才我们看这个片花，我想饰演这个角色一定很辛苦啊，因为我觉得需要更多的张力和爆发力。我们一起分享一下你的感受好吗？来，姚晨。
It requires a lot of energy and expression in this film. Dear friends of Changchun, my name is Yao Chen.
I'd
like to thank the host to make The Lost and Found the opening film of this 14th Changchun Film Festival. Actually, I was heartbroken in the film. And in real life, I worked really well with my crew members. The film production is not only one person's effort, it's the team effort. So I'm really thankful for the crew members for co-producing such a great work. And this film is about the women. I hope the women can find the strength to face up to the reality in this film. I remember you said in the films it's about finding your own children, and in real life actually you have been the mother of 2 kids, right? So congratulations. Well, you have played in so many famous films. So what is your feel for this one? Well, I used to play some gentle roles. Sometimes even like a coward, especially in this film. I'm really lucky to meet actress Yao Chen. The first day she called me, she invited me to talk about the scripts. So I'm really grateful for her trust. We talked for a long time and late into night. And I remember for one episode we didn't do it well, so we asked for a second try, and the director agreed for us to redo it. So for every episode, we must take it very seriously. Thank you, Wenkang. What you said is about the craftsmanship, about the film industry. We have always seen in China that a woman will not become strong until she becomes a mother. So this film will be played on the September 30th. So can each of you give a line to recommend this film to the audience? I really hope you can go to the cinemas to watch this film. I'd like to thank the audience who joined us today. And also, I'd like to thank the committee for choosing our film as the opening film for this festival. I hope you can find yourself by watching this film. So I will become a better version of myself by finding you, my kid. I hope you can go to the cinema and watch it. I'd like to thank all the audience and friends who supported us, and you're warmly welcome to watch this film in the cinemas. So we hope a huge box office for this film. All the crew members have made a huge effort for producing this film, so let's give them a round of applause of it. This film is about finding your kid. It's also about the inner pursuit. Now, the next, we will invite the singer Sun Nan for a song.
拂去岁月厚厚的风尘，敞开新的世界，记忆的闸门，一幅幅一帧帧不能忘却的画卷，引领着我默默地前行，追寻我生命的那份纯真，心中抹不去的那一片云彩，追寻那永远属于我们的那份无悔的忠贞。的光阴，又见过去岁月如歌的年轮，一页页一片片刻骨铭心的画面，我心只向往不懈的追寻，追寻我生命的那份纯
谢谢孙楠激情投入的演唱。
Thank you, 孙楠 for your performance.
是的，追寻我生命中的那份纯真，追寻永远属于我们的那份无悔的忠贞。我想，这就是电影人不变的初心。朋友们，为期8天的第14届中国长春电影节即将拉开帷幕，电影的盛宴即将开启，百姓的节日即将到来。
So this film festival is also a festival for our people. It brings us hope. Now let's give the floor to the honorary president of the film committee, Sheng Haixiong, the president of the China Media Group, to give congratulatory remarks to the Changchun Film Festival.
现在宣布，第14届中国长春电影节
Now I declare the Changchun Film Festival officially starts. Thank you, Mr. Shen.
作为长春人，在这里我们也张开怀抱，欢迎每一位电影人来到长春
So, as on behalf of the Changchun people, we welcome the visitors from across the country and the world to share the honor and the dream of us. And also, you are invited here to taste the flavor of the city and the culture. Now, we will have another performance.
亲爱的朋友们，第14届中国长春电影节
Dear
的大
friends,
幕已经
the
开
14th
启。
Changchun Film
为期
Festival
8天的盛
officially
会
begins.
必将续写
It lasts for 8 days and will continue to write a new chapter for Chinese film industry. Today, Chinese film is facing with unprecedented golden opportunities, and all of the filmmakers are greatly inspired. With hope and expectations, the Chinese film industry will embark on a new journey, will continue to march on the new road of Chinese socialism with Chinese characteristics. We will continue to witness the granting of the Golden Deer Awards. And last but not least, we wish the film festival great success. Thank you. Goodbye.